Hello there, welcome to Cartooning with Paul. We're doing another Bruce Timm style video. I know him as Captain Marvel, you know him as Shazam. So, let's get started. Hey cartooners, welcome back. Another Bruce Timm style drawing today. I've always known him to be Captain Marvel, and let's just dive in. All right, I might get a little cheeky today. British talk. We're going to start with a smaller circle here, and I'm going to show you why. Captain Marvel, Shazam, has a very pronounced chin, and if I don't draw in that initial circle small enough, I get a little carried away. So I'm going to throw in a shape like so. It's like drawing a cartoon version of Patrick Warburton. Oh, talk about Patrick. Oh, I love that guy. Now, for this version of Shazam, we've got to give him some wicked broad shoulders. Okay? I mean, we're talking like 4 head widths wide. Now, naturally, I'm going to throw in, instead of drawing in the action line right now, because I find it a little confusing with this guy in particular, because he's just so broad. I'm going to throw in the center of his chest, so I can keep that straight. Actually, it's going to bow in like that. Good. Okay, now I'm comfortable throwing in action line, and whew, as you know, when I draw in my Bruce Timm characters, I like to throw in his chest like so. And I remember that his rib cage needs to kind of come down like that. It's a formula that I kind of figured out that works for me, right? I know the pecs will go here. I know the rib cage comes down here like that. And then his torso comes in like this. Let's see, the trunks would come in right about there, although he doesn't wear trunks. So we're going to double that length. There's the floor. And from here to here, we need to find the knee. Okay. The knee would go in right about here. So, I'm going to throw in his thigh muscles like this. His calf muscle would come out like this. And there we have it like that. I'm going to draw in his foot in between the pegs. I'm sorry. See, if I were working on an animated thing, I would have layout people helping me with how big they wanted the character, and we'd go from there. Plus, I'm also using smaller paper than they would normally use, so I don't like that at all. At all. Right? Well, I mean, that part was fine. Oh, I know why. Yep, that's better. Okay. He has a cuff to his boots, like so. You guys have to excuse my attitude on this video. I'm a little sarcastic in this video. I'm sure you guys have probably picked up on it. This guy's Captain Marvel to me, right? His name is Captain Marvel. The fact that they renamed him, it's stuck in my craw. So here, let me explain what my problem is. So Superman was created in 1938. Before that, kids didn't have a whole lot to read. There were other kinds of periodicals out there. Superman came on the scene. He was our very first superhero, right? Excuse me. Batman came out a year later in response to the success of Superman. So they were the precursor for DC Comics, right? Captain Marvel was the answer to Superman and Batman's success. He debuted before Wonder Woman. He wasn't a DC character initially. He belonged to a different publishing company that doesn't exist anymore. Here, we're going to give him his sash, which comes right below his rib cage. Okay, so his elbows will be in line with this. So anyway, we have what they called Captain Marvel. And at one point, he was outselling Superman and Batman. He was very popular. Then, of course, Marvel comes out with Captain America. We've got Wonder Woman. We've got all these characters. And he kind of faded away into the background for a little while. They revived him after a bit. He sold pretty well for a little bit, but not as well as he initially did. And he just kind of fell away again. Here, all right, I'll continue that in a second. Let's give him a low neckline, right? He wears his cape on one shoulder, so we're just gonna do that. And then here is where we will put in his lightning bolt. Okay. And then like this and like that. And because of the time he was created, they gave him like a flap jacket in the front. And we got a button there. Like I said, his cape goes over one shoulder. We'll figure that part out. But it's clasped with like this golden rope. He's given superpowers from the old Greek gods. So his costume actually has a lot of different elements from different gods in his design. His pecs are right in here, which will give us where we're going to throw in his arms. Remember, he's a Bruce Timm character. Elbow is in line with bottom of ribs. Forearms come out beautifully like this, but we want to keep in that straight arm and then throw some muscle over it. Hand goes here. Other hand, like so. Shoulder. Okay. All right, we're looking good here. Back to my complaining on the soapbox. So, Captain Marvel, the company is going under. So DC acquired the rights to the Captain Marvel character. And then, of course, you know, with Captain Marvel being such a juggernaut in the past, they didn't want to undermine the character at all. They wanted to celebrate the fact that he is Earth's mightiest mortal, right? Because he's a young boy named Billy Batson until he calls out the name Shazam, who is the god that gave him his powers, not him. And he becomes this great big man, except he's really a little boy trapped in a great big superhero's body. He's very childlike. He doesn't mature when he becomes this big. He's still a little kid in a great big person's body. But he's also very powerful. So DC used to have fun with the fact that Captain Marvel is essentially sometimes stronger than Superman. So they would compete every now and then. And then later on, when superhero comics matured, they really played up on the fact that this guy is formidable for Superman. An excellent book that you should read would be the Justice League Justice comics. It was painted instead of illustrated by Alex Ross. It is a gorgeous series. I recommend you read it. And it'll illustrate exactly what I'm trying to tell you. So he's the Earth's mightiest mortal. They created their own Captain Marvel. And I'm sure DC had a problem with it. That was long before my day. So we just always knew that there was a Captain Marvel on both sides. This Captain Marvel, very handsome, very big-jawed man, squinted eyes. Alex Ross likes to use certain people for inspiration when he's painting his characters. And he likes Fred McMurray, who's an older actor. For the kids that don't know who he is, if you look at the original Disney Absent-Minded Professor, you know, the guy that invented Flubber, that's Fred McMurray. He's in The Shaggy Dog. I'm talking about all these older movies that kids today don't really know. But he's a great comedic actor, and he had this, you know, he had big bushy eyebrows and a squint. So Alex Ross liked his face, and he would borrow from it from his version of Captain Marvel. And they're always beautiful paintings. So when you read Justice, you'll look at this guy and you'll say, he looks like an older actor. Well, he is. So I'm going to give you these big bushy eyebrows. Because he squints, Bruce Timm also had him squinting. The nose is going to be small here. And we're going to give him a big flashy teethy grin. Lower lip, cleft jaw, like so. His ear, kind of small there, and then we'll give him that nice clean cut haircut there, and there we have it. Oh, so why the name change? Disney buys Marvel Comics, just as the films are starting up, right? The Marvel Cinematic Universe predates Disney's buying Marvel. So as things are developing, as Kevin Feige is figuring out his plan, they know they want to use Captain Marvel. Well, DC is well aware of all of these plans, and said, well, you know what? Disney, we don't want to mess with Disney. We've got to do something. We can't both have a Captain Marvel if she's going to be in the theaters. So they decided to rebrand this Captain Marvel, and they renamed him in the memory of the shaman that gave him his powers. So now he takes up the mantle of Shazam. Well, guys, I hope my ranting and raving didn't ruin this drawing video for you. I really like Captain Marvel. I guess I can learn to like him as Shazam and stop my complaining. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it the thumbs up. Throw down in the comments what you think of this whole renaming thing. If you guys like videos like this, I've got a whole playlist right here for you. How to draw like Bruce Timm. I want to thank you guys so much for drawing with me today. And until the next video, we'll see you later.